Moments away then, England B versus Indonesia. Let's hand over to our commentary team of Ted and Nick Halling.
Yes, thanks very much indeed. The last match of day 2 coming up. And it's Indonesia trying to spoil the party for England's B team. England A sat in those chairs round about 24 hours ago to the minute, Ted, and were dispatched by India. They've gone home. The only seed so far to be knocked out. Are England B going to suffer a similar fate? This Indonesian team will be underdogs. The big question is there another shock brewing here? Or will England B just steady the ship and, as we saw just with the Philippines, class eventually does prevail?
No, I do not think that it's... they're big favorites, England B. They're, I would say, 60-40, like that. So, slight favorites being at home.
England win.
I think they really, England wants to perform at an extremely high level. That, you know, they're jacked up for this, playing in front of their home crowd.
Winner breaks.
You heard everybody, you know, come on England as they come out. So, Indonesia, these guys are good players. This is, they got serious world-class talent here. So it's, if they win, it's not going to be that big an upset. It would just be a little bit of disappointment for guys like you, Nick, because I know.
That's not the start that Daryl Peach wanted. The one-time world champion. Look at this, watch this cue ball. Well, it drifted towards that centre pocket anyway, and then look at that. The 6, then the 1. Putting it down. So a scratch off the break, and the worst possible start for England B. Ball in hand, Indonesia. As you say, good partnership this, very experienced, well known on the Asian circuit. A couple of great nicknames, the Stranger and the Bulldozer. I love some of these names. We had the Conqueror earlier, Mohammed from Kuwait, but he got conquered. Let's see if the Bulldozer can mow down England B here.
This is the start they wanted.
And just make sure they see enough of that red 3 ball, which is hanging invitingly over the side pocket there. That's got to travel. That's got to travel, and it isn't.
Traveled right into that orange 5.
Well, they had this table where they wanted it, and it's got away from them.
Well, he had plenty of room to move that cue ball. Maybe they're just a little bit too loose, Nick. Not lose focus. We've seen this time and again in this sport. Can't lose focus for 1 second.
Extension cold.
It can all go awry.
It really is amazing how often we've seen it already just through 2 days of this competition. You think everything is going according to a script, and then one thing can just change everything. One little thing. Now, the deliberate foul, just to try and mess the table up.
Start the clock, please.
So ball in hand for the Maharaja, Imran Majid. Very popular, very capable.
Yeah, Imran's been around a long time.
Extension cold.
Oh, he's nailed that one. Beautiful shot. Well, that deliberate foul's backfired on the Indonesians, hasn't it? Well, that didn't work out.
Imran's really paid his dues over the years. He's been around.
Uh-oh, just enough. Peach has paid his dues as well. Can't believe
yeah.
it. 10 years ago you won the world title in the Philippines?
Exactly 10 years ago, and the most improbable win.
In a real cauldron in Manila as well. What a journey that was. Anybody who ever questioned Daryl Peach's mental toughness, go and check out YouTube for some of the highlights there. That incredible match, that quarterfinal against Francisco Bustamante. I don't think anybody will ever forget that. Well, they're on the board, despite the scratch early. They've recovered well. The Indonesian deliberate foul did not work out the way they wanted it to. And they're behind early. Long way to go.
Yeah, and Imran missed out on a lot of these events to some of the other players. Yeah, so much great talent in England, Great Britain, and in the last 2 years, his game has really improved, and he's just stuck with it. And this is the reward right here, a spot in the World Cup of Pool. Daryl Peach, in 2015, our last World Cup of Pool, reaching the final with his partner Mark Gray, and they barely lost to eventual champions Chinese Taipei. A great final.
Rack 2, England to break, leading 1-0.
So, here. He's got himself the brown 7 in the side pocket, but the cue ball has headed north.
Well, that should work out. 1 in the side. We'll bring natural position for the blue 2.
Just like that. Well, this is a very inviting looking table here, isn't it?
Certainly is. And this would be a dream start for England. Should we just take off the B?
I was actually going to ask you about that. Is there any kind of a perception, because England obviously as the host nation, they will get 2 teams. Is there any perception of an A is the first team and the B are kind of the second stringers? I mean,
not at all.
These aren't the second stringers, are they?
No, it's generally done by world rankings, and to be frank, there's really not enough events on the world WPA rankings to really say, well, if that person is definitely better than somebody lower than him. So that's how it's done. No, it has nothing to do with saying that England A is the better squad. But right now, they are England, because England A was dumped out by India last night.
Well, Majid has played a couple of beautiful rail shots already in this match. Laid it on a plate for the dazzler, Daryl Peach. And he, in turn, has teed up his partner.
Well played, Scotch doubles from the English duo.
And a rack that has been very warmly received here in Bethnal Green. It was the Indian fans making all the noise last night as they disposed of England A. I don't think these Indonesians have brought too many fans with them. And Peach And Majid enjoying home comforts so far. This race to 7, they've jumped out to the early 2-0 lead. And really, you look at it, Indonesia just had that one deliberate foul, which they didn't execute as well as they needed to. They have not had a chance to do much else, quite frankly. But we've seen how it works, Ted. Their time will come. But we've seen how it works, Ted. Their time will come. But we've seen how it works, Ted. Their time will come.
On that shot, rack 1, and that resulted in the snooker.
England to break, leading 2 racks to 0.
And that gave the rack to England, and then off to the races here. Quickly up 2-0. And England looking...
Was laid up as well. Now that is a beauty from Peach. The one ball negotiating all that traffic. The cue ball perfectly set up. Oh, this is a dream of a lay of balls for England B. It's going to be a big surprise if Indonesia get out of their seats in this third rack. You can usually spot the sand traps before I can, Ted. I can't see any clouds on this horizon.
This is just got to keep it simple. You won't see a lot of movement of that cue ball.
Bit of distance between cue ball and object ball here for Majid. The pot shouldn't be too difficult, just making sure there is something reasonable for his partner to follow on with. The main objective here, which he's managed to establish. Nicely working the rail there. Peach probably thinking, yep, if I had ball in hand, I'd put it about there. He can just leave it sitting there with the angle for Majid. I mean, it really did look this easy on paper. There's a lot of club players would have looked at that lay of balls and said, yeah, I can get rid of those. For these two, absolutely no problem at all. Well,
1-2bet sponsors the World Cup of Pool.
On and you spread the balls around, you'll think, right, what can we work with here?
What an impressive start for England. This is as good as we've seen here in the World Cup of Pool. Very confident, pumped up, and focused.
What's he looking at here? Look at this. That'll get the crowd pumped up even more.
2-9 combination, 4-0. They're on a roll.
Well, they're loving it in the crowd, but there are two guys who are not enjoying this at all, and the look on the faces of these two when they saw that combination there was, I don't believe it. I mean, there is nothing they can do at the moment. Peach saw it, and Peach delivered, executing the combination 2-9 to perfection. And they are making very short work of this, the England B team. And as long as your opponents are breaking like this, there is every chance you're not getting out of your chair. I'll be surprised if this carries on, though. There's always a twist and a turn. Something will happen. They'll get a bad break. The Indonesians will get a chance at the table, you would think. But already, they've lost their safety net completely, down by 4. And right now, they're just waiting and seeing how much damage England B can inflict on them before they get a chance back up at the table.
It's not just that they're down 4-0. England, the demeanor, the confidence, the focus, it's
no, that's gone. That's gone.
Well, now here he said it, Nick. Here's the chance.
There's always something. Always something. It never just goes clean. Now let's see, did that get kicked? No, it didn't. That's all on Daryl.
Table's a bit messy, though. I guess they were so pumped up that cue ball just ran away from him. He couldn't control it.
Well, yeah, because everything's been going their way, and of course the adrenaline would have been kicking in for Daryl Peach after that wonderful 2-9. I guess for pool players as well, when it's been going as easy as this, you start to think you can make any shot at all.
That's right. Yeah. And you have to tell yourself to dial it back down sometimes. Not easy to do when you're pumped up.
So with ball in hand, Indonesia are in business, and they've got to make the most of this opportunity.
That does not pass. That is trouble.
And that, Ted, from ball in hand. Now, is that because they're stone cold? Was that Nasution played that shot?
Yeah, it was a tough shot. This is a tough layout here.
Extension
Ball's
call.
all clustered on that one side there.
Well, is he looking at a possible combo here? No, he's just going to go and play it safe. Heading for the hills. Little kiss on the 9 on its way through. And Imran Majid lining this one up. Partial eclipse going on there. Majid continues to look. Peach also
Extension called.
is taking a look as well. Both players analysing. It's a tough one. He's tempted. He fancies this.
He's going to have a go at it.
Yeah, he's jacking
Slightly
up.
curve it around.
This will be a shot if this goes.
Oh, great shot.
Oh, it's hung on the jaws. It deserved better. Oh, my goodness me. What a terrific... The work this cue ball does. Look at this.
And off the rail.
And it just wouldn't drop. The only slightly good bit of news there is he's nudged the 9 towards the green 6. But 2 over a pocket, 3 over a pocket. Now that's got to clear some traffic, and does? Yes, just.
Barely.
A little bit, yeah, that was a little bit more close for comfort than it needed to be. They'll already be thinking of getting position on that 6. And that's the key shot of this match, of this rack rather. Oh, hello. That doesn't need to come back off the rail, and it doesn't. So this is it. He's already having a look at his options there. Possible combination if he plays this right.
Has to be very precise with this.
Yeah, really.
The 9
That's
is
not quite what he wanted, is it? Simajuntak would have wanted that ball to have done a little bit more work, that cue ball. This has been suddenly made a lot harder than it needed to be.
You know, the 6 and the 9 are not straight into the pocket.
So when you're 4 down, is this where you gamble and hope for the best, or do you just play it smart? Yeah, he's played it smart, but he hasn't played it effective now. Now, does that 6 pass? If it does, that's an absolute calamity of a shot from Simajuntak, but he wasn't given position either by his partner. And if Peach can punch this home, and I think he might be able to, that is another huge mistake.
Yeah.
From Indonesia.
That could cost them the match.
I mean, yes, the lay wasn't perfect, but Nasution did not give his partner the position he wanted, but then Simajuntak's choice of shot, his shot selection, left a lot to be desired. And all this off Imran Majid going for that wonderful shot and just missing that you thought had given Indonesia the box seat in this rack. They've tossed it away.
And this coming at the beginning of this rack, Daryl Peach scratching on the break. Luckily for England, it wasn't the best of layouts. Got him up against the rail here. That was a smart shot, though. It just happened to be straight in, and just, you know, don't get funny. Just make the 8-ball. Imran should get this.
And just like that, it's 5-0 England B. And that one was a real sickener for Indonesia. They had not one but 2 chances to take control of that rack. They let them both slip away. That is the face of defeat right now. Those Indonesians have lost any belief they had. They can't make a shot. This was the one that started the ball rolling, metaphorically speaking. Imran Majid going for it, not coming off. You think, right, Indonesia got themselves where they need to be, and then they've made a complete mess of that, and it was a team error, that one. It's not all just on Simajuntak. Back it comes, in it goes, 5-0. You said it, that shot could cost them the match. I don't think that's any over-exaggeration, Ted. I think these Indonesians look like they're beaten.
We're just in the first round, and the crowd here is just going bonkers.
Where did you learn a word like bonkers?
Isn't that from an American word?
I suppose it might have been an old one, yeah.
Maybe you guys
where do we take it from?
Us.
Thank you, rack 6. England to break, leading 5 racks to 0.
Interesting last night, India versus England A. It was all for India because, you know, Raj Handal's from London, and he brought out the whole town
Then, please.
here to your call, and it was like more people cheering for India than England. But tonight, totally different story.
Now the wing ball doesn't drop. Nothing else has dropped yet either. Is this going to be a drive break?
The 9-ball.
Well, is that going to nudge in? Is it going to go? No! Well, that really would have been outrageous and very harsh on the Indonesians if that had dropped. Look at it. It's rolling. It's taking a kick there. Here comes the red to get the job finished. No, somebody stuck the handbrake on. Now, this could go very quickly. That is hanging over the oh dear, oh dear.
Wow.
Oh dear, oh dear.
That's the end of that.
This is just a calamity, one after another for Indonesia. They can't buy a break at the moment. You've got to feel sorry for them. They have not got going. Never mind not getting their A game. They haven't got their B or C game. And Daryl Peach will say, thank you very much. Just like that, England B on the hill in the most one-sided match we've seen. Cruise control, leading the cheerleader section here, Imran Majid. England on the hill.
One2Bet sponsors the World Cup of Pool.
Well, everything going right for England B. They almost fluked a golden break there. That didn't happen. But Indonesia couldn't take control of the table, missing on the one, and look where it went. Daryl Peach said, well, if you're going to give me that, I'm going to put it to bed. And it looks like it's going to be an early night for everybody here, as this has been a rout, this last match. Unlike our first match, Poland and Greece went the distance, then Finland shut out Norway, but at least that had some competitive moments. This one, far from it. Indonesia have barely been out their chair. Both of them, when they've been at the table, have made mistakes. And it looks like they're going to be unscrewing their cues, packing their bags, and they'll be at Heathrow Airport tomorrow morning. unless something amazing happens. And the way Peach has been breaking, mind you, last time out he did lose control of the cue ball, so let's keep an eye on that. He's almost gone in the side pocket this time, but he's got away with it, and that will do nicely.
And I think this match for England will be a marker for the rest of the field. This is an impressive performance from the England B squad, and I like their energy. They're feeding off the crowd feeding off of them, and they're very confident.
Worth making the point, though, Ted, that their opponents, both of them, have been stone cold tonight. They won't meet opposition that's as out of form as these Indonesians have been. They haven't made a shot.
Yeah, but they're out of. I think they're out of form because of how England came into this match, dead serious, feeding off that crowd energy. You know, I thought originally that, you know, maybe Indonesia could come in here because they were trying to play that psychological game beforehand. That, you know, there's pressure on them, not on us. We're just, you know, taking it easy, having a good time out here, and we're just going to laugh our way to the finish line. No. I did tell Nick Bright, you know, that the Imran and Daryl, this kind of pressure, they love this stuff. I mean, again, we talk about pressure. Remember earlier that, you know, the 2007 World Pool Championship, the pressure was sick on Daryl Peach. I never saw anything like it. There was 20,000 people at the final against, he's playing Roberto Gomez, and that was all Filipino, and they're all Filipinos, and somehow, some way, he pulled through to win an improbable world title.
Having earlier disposed of Bustamante in very controversial circumstances.
He loves this atmosphere.
Yeah, if there was any question about his mental toughness, well, that was erased a decade ago in Manila when he won that world title, and this looks like it's going to be an early night for England B.
And now Imran, his partner's been playing really well this year. He's got a certain confidence about him, too.
He's picked up a couple of titles recently, hasn't he, Imran? He's picked up the French Open, one in Lebanon as well. That's just got the legs. Yeah, but you're right, I think, putting down a marker, England B in the same group as Scotland, Russia and Austria, the number 2 seed. So it'll be England B versus Scotland next. That'll be one to keep your neutrality in check. Jason Shaw, we believe, is in the crowd. I actually bumped into Pat Holtz earlier. He'd found himself a practice table somewhere. So the Scots, if they're looking at this, they're probably looking at it through the gaps between their fingers, because this has been stunning from England B. And it's about to be all over. Jason Shaw knows what he's up against next.
There he is.
Yeah.
It'll be Scotland versus England.
An absolute obliteration. If that had been a boxing match in this York Hall, that would have been stopped in the first rack. It was so one-sided. They grabbed it, they took control, they broke well, they made their shots, they went for their shots. They had Indonesia doubting themselves, double guessing, not sure what they were going to do. And in the end, they just slumped deeper and deeper into their chairs, nowhere to go but down and out. England B move on. Well, that might be the end of our live action, but it certainly isn't the end of our coverage from the York Hall in Bethnal Green tonight. We'll have lots of reaction and lots more to talk about after this short break. The final score of this one, England B 7, Indonesia nothing. A wipeout.